Hi, I'm Sherry Cook. This is my final reflections presentation for NDS 300 Summer 2015 with Professor Greg Wilson. As a high school student, I never imagined that my path would lead me anywhere other than college and college graduation and a bachelor's degree. I loved learning in high school and I got very good grades, and I was involved in a lot of clubs and activities and sports. And I really wanted to go on to college straight from high school, and I intended to finish my degree. I graduated with honors and as part of the National Honor Society from high school in 1995. And my parents had 3 other children at home. I'm the oldest of 4, and help for college wasn't really available to me at that time from my parents. So I took the best financial aid offer I received, which was from Idaho State University in Pocatello. I enrolled as a communications major with a public relations focus and intended to be a public relations or media officer somewhere. I spent a year in Pocatello, and in the course of that year learned that I did not love Pocatello, nor did I want to be a communications major. So I left Pocatello and moved to Boise in the summer of 1996 and enrolled at BSU as a political science major with a focus in secondary education. I wanted to teach high school history and government. I have a passion for those subjects and really wanted to be an educator. In the summer of 98, I started dating my husband, and we were married in June of 99. We've been married for 16 years. In that same summer, we bought the home that we still live in, and we have 4 beautiful children together: Jordan, Cameron, Brendan, and Madison. My work career started in law firms. I worked at a law firm named Evans Kane when I first moved to Boise in 96. I got a job as a runner and was able to work around my school schedule, and it was the perfect job. And at one point I even considered being an attorney, and I thought my love for political science would help with that. I began taking some lower division constitutional law and other sorts of law classes. After a couple of years of going to school full-time and working part-time as a runner, I was offered a reception, I guess it was a year and a half, but I was offered a position as a receptionist, and shortly thereafter the firm split. And when the firm split, I went with the attorneys that were breaking off, Anderson, Julian, and Hull, and worked as their receptionist and assisted their bookkeeper. About the same time, in fall of 98, I stopped going to my classes. I was really disillusioned with school, and I just wanted to work. I found that a starting teacher in Idaho made less than I was making as a legal receptionist, and it just made me very unhappy with the system, and I failed most of my classes that semester, and at the end of that semester dropped out. I also found a new job in a different field and began working with federally assisted housing programs with Idaho Housing and Finance Association. I started out as the home program assistant in December of 98, and then a couple years later moved into a special needs grant coordinator position, and then on to a special needs grant administrator, and for the past 3 years I have been the special needs team lead. We administer federal homeless grants for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and those fund emergency shelters and transitional housing for persons experiencing homelessness. About a year and a half ago, our company decided that there were too many people for one manager in my Department of Grant Programs and decided to split our departments. I applied for the management position for what is now the Homeless Programs Department and was declined because I don't have a degree. I thought that my 16 years of experience would make up for my lack of bachelor's degree, but the company decided that it was not, and they hired someone else, and my path was diverted. I began looking for courses, classes, seminars, workshops in leadership and professional development, and I came across Boise State Center for Professional Development. I was very interested in the leadership development program, becoming a servant leader workshop, and the leading strategic change workshop. I called their office to discuss the courses and to make sure that they didn't have to be company sponsored, that I could attend on my own. And during the course of my conversation, I was directed to Rebecca in the Multidisciplinary Studies program, and we talked about my previous credits. She was able to look up my previous GPA because I had been a student at BSU, and at the end of our conversation I was more excited than I've been in a really long time. I applied for admission to Boise State University as a degree-seeking student and was accepted in January of 2015. And then I applied to the Multidisciplinary Studies program and was accepted there as well. During the course of this first class, my MDS 300 class, I had the distinct pleasure of interviewing two very wonderful ladies. The first was Dr. Jacqueline Kettler. She's an assistant professor in the Department of Political Science. She and I discussed that my previous political science classes positioned me to obtain a minor in political science fairly easily. I am 2 3-credit classes short of that minor. We also talked about submitting an adjustment of academic requirements for courses I took 17 years ago that were no longer offered, but most had current political science courses in their place. She also suggested that I look into a Master's of Public Administration, as my political science courses uniquely position me to move into a master's degree, and that is exactly in the field in my career field. So I'm definitely looking into that possibility. I also interviewed Dr. Heidi Reeder, and she is an associate professor and the director of the Leadership and Human Relations program in the College of Innovation and Design. And she and I discussed the difference between leadership and management and how the courses in her college and her program differentiate those things. We talked in detail about me getting a certificate in leadership and human relations, and she also pointed out that after taking those courses for that certification, I was one class away from a certificate in dispute resolution with a life skills focus as well, so I will be working towards both of those. I would like to stay in my current career field. I would like to have a management position at the company that I work for. Idaho Housing and Finance Association is a great place to work. They have a wonderful mission, and I really love the people that I work with. I hope to graduate in spring of 2018 and help these adorable kids learn that sometimes family and career and school can all be achieved at the same time with a little hard work and dedication. I hope to look back on this path that I've taken on my graduation day and be able to say that the choices I've made have made all the difference. Thank you.